Hey there, welcome back to our channel. Do you ever wonder how long it takes for you to decide whether you like someone or not? According to a recent study, it only takes 30 milliseconds for you to form your first impression of someone. That's roughly the length of time it takes to process a single frame of a movie. So, when you meet someone new, you quickly size them up based on their appearance, body language, and tone of voice. Researchers peg this speedy assessment as an evolutionary adaptation that allows you to quickly identify potential threats or allies. And while this rapid-fire analysis may feel intuitive, it can have a big impact on your relationships and opportunities. So let's take a closer look at the psychology of first impressions. One way our first impressions can influence us is through the halo effect. The halo effect is a cognitive bias, where one positive attribute can make us believe everything about that person is good. For example, if you meet someone who is very attractive, you might automatically assume they are also kind, intelligent, and funny without getting to know them. On the flip side, if someone isn't physically attractive, we might assume the worst. This effect can be problematic as it can lead to discrimination. For example, research shows that people who are physically attractive are more likely to be hired for a job. Even if they are less qualified, they are also more likely to receive lenient treatment in the justice system. And once we form a first impression of someone, our subsequent judgments about them are likely to be influenced by confirmation bias. This is the tendency to seek out and interpret ambiguous information in a way that confirms our existing beliefs. For example, if you meet someone and immediately get the sense that they aren't trustworthy, you might start looking for reasons to confirm that belief, which can make it difficult to change your first impression of someone. Research has found that it is hard to change a bad first impression because of the way our brains process social information. When we first meet someone, we quickly form a mental representation of them, which influences how we process information about them. If that initial impression is negative, it can be challenging to update our mental representation of that person, even when presented with evidence that contradicts our initial belief. This is supported by a study published in Psychological Science, which found that participants were less likely to change their opinion of a person when given feedback that contradicted their first impression. Interestingly, research suggests that nonverbal cues carry more weight in impression formation than our words. In a study published in Human Relations, researchers found that people were more likely to form a positive impression of someone based on their facial expressions and body language rather than what they said. This highlights the importance of being aware of our nonverbal behavior when meeting new people. It's also worth noting that cultural differences can shape our impression formation. For example, in individualistic cultures like the United States, people tend to focus on personal goals and individual achievement. As a result, they may be more likely to form impressions based on a person's ambition and self-confidence. In contrast, in collectivistic cultures like China, people prioritize the needs of the group over their own individual goals. Therefore, they may be more likely to form impressions based on a person's ability to conform to social norms and maintain harmony in relationships. Sometimes our anxiety can cause us to unintentionally give off the wrong vibe. When we are nervous around new people, we might come across as arrogant, insecure, or disinterested. This can happen because our anxiety can cause us to focus on ourselves rather than the other person. We might overanalyze our words or become overly critical of ourselves, which can make us seem self-centered. Additionally, anxiety can cause us to be less responsive and more critical of the other person, which can make the interaction feel one-sided. But there are also ways to make a good first impression. Research has found that smiling and making eye contact can help build trust and rapport with new people. When we smile, it signals that we are friendly and approachable. And when we make eye contact, it shows that we are paying attention and are interested in the other person. Dressing appropriately for the occasion can also signal competence and professionalism. When we put effort into our appearance, it communicates that we care about the situation and are prepared. So while first impressions are fast, they are not always accurate. It's important to keep an open mind and not jump to conclusions. By understanding the psychology of first impressions, we can be more aware of the biases and heuristics that can influence our judgments. We can also learn how to make a positive first impression on others and build meaningful relationships. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching.